Well, hello, guys, and welcome back. I'm trying to watch my counter, see if it's actually recording. Loki had asked me the other day, he was like, well, because I had figured I was done making stuff and kind of wanted to get him something, for Mother's Day for the female aspect in that. And I've been working on stuff, and this has a point. And I've been wanting to, like, get him another statue, and they don't have too many good statues. I've been wanting to, like, get him, like, a sort of a statue attached to the crows and that. And money's tight. So I had this old statue, and I wanted to paint the wings black, and I started painting the wings black with a glossy finger enamel, nail enamel, and the hair black. And then Loki's like, well, why don't you just paint the whole thing black? And I thought he was being sarcastic jerk. And he's like, no, seriously, why don't you just paint the whole thing black? Because it looked ridiculous. It was one of those sort of Christian gift shop statues that looked vomit-inducing. That's the only word you can think of. And so, painted the whole thing black. Now, the chalkboard paint will eventually go to a lovely matte black, and the nail polish should be shiny metallic black, so he'll have like the crow-like wings and hair. And put the jewel on the front because it had the scales on the front because it's supposed to be a statue, I believe, of St. Michael. For some reason, statue of St. Michael is blonde. I'm like, damn, you people don't know your religion. He's not blonde. And anyhow, uh, it reminded me because we were making this, and then I was like fooling around on Pinterest as this was drying. And I took this outside and I put it down for to dry. And since I had this outside, they pulled up with my order from Amazon, which amused me to no end. And it just reminded me, one of the things he's fond of is I have some Satan statues around, not like satanic Luciferian statues. Not a Luciferian, not that I mind one way or the other, but I have like, like the devil doll and like some Halloween stuff in that. Because Loki had asked me why had Lucifer been kicked out of heaven, even though he knows very well. And I said, well, he wouldn't bow down to man. And he looks at me and goes, oh, I like him. And he knows very well the story of the Bible. Now, Loki probably could quote you chapter and verse. The gods aren't stupid. They know a lot more than you think they know about other religions, and especially Loki. And he's always liked. Some people say Lucifer's just a character, that he was made up character, like they say Loki's a made up character. And I studied Hebrew scripture, and some people will say, well, he is. There was a debate. Some people will say he's real, and some people will say he's just a part of the human soul. And some people will say he's part of the human mind, and some people will say no, he's an independent angel that told God to kiss his ass, and he wasn't going to bow down to any man because he was the best and brightest of the angels and kiss my ass, and I'm not going to do it, and so he got cast out. And even after he got cast out, he watched God treating the humans like shit, and he was like, well, this sucks, donkey ball. So he came down and he said, oh, if you eat from this tree, this one thing he tells you not to do, he doesn't want you to do this because you'll know the difference between good and evil. And, of course, they did because, he was actually trying to help out. And he got it for that, too. Some people actually say that's what he got punished for. That he didn't get punished for not bowing down to a man. He got punished for helping humans obtain enlightenment. And because God Yahweh's a schmuck. Yahweh wanted everything for himself. Yahweh had to be the big boy. Yahweh is kind of like the Donald Trump of gods, is what Yahweh is. Yahweh's a jagoff. And, there's no love lost between us. And, as a child, when the one angel you identify with is the one they kicked out, you know you got problems already. And I wasn't like the only one. A lot of kids are like, well, why is he bad? He was only trying to help. Shouldn't they know right from wrong? They tell us right and wrong from on Sesame Street. And the teachers didn't have any answer for that, because you think about it, we do teach our children right from wrong. And that's all Lucifer was trying to do. Well, anyhow, you know, Loki is called the Norse Satan, the Norse Lucifer, da 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 da, because he does the same thing, doesn't he? He comes down, he teaches us right from wrong, and he will give you a kick in the ass when you need it, and he will motivate, inspire, sort of like all the same things that Lucifer gets reviled for by people. Loki gets reviled for by people as well. Same animal associations as well. Serpents, crows, bats. Not so much with Loki. I'm not even sure why I said bats, but it just popped into my head. The ravens are more for Odin, but wolves, anything like that, anything connected to the night, anything like that. The color black, obviously, for both. And of course, Loki has appeared on more than one occasion with like a winged form with me. I don't know, like to his vast amusement or something. And I took his quick snap outside. I shouldn't have had pointing towards the sunlight, but I did just what I did. And I covered up the shield because it had the scales on the shield. And I thought, well, yeah, Loki is kind of like a judge in a sense that he will judge whether or not we're fulfilling our potential, but he's not that kind of judge in that Old Testament Yahweh sense. He's not going to like punish your ass if you're not like following a rule book. He's going to, and excuse my language, but I know they're going to demonetize this anyhow. He's going to judge whether or not you're taking care of yourself and living your life to the best possible potential. A lot of people won't work with Loki because he'll push you and push you and push you. If you think other gods will push you hard, Loki's going to push you 10 times harder. He's a teacher, another thing the two have in common. And teachers tend to push you very hard. That's why children hate them. That's why a lot of adults that are children still mentally, in that I don't want to do anything, I don't want to have to work to grow sense, don't like either gentlemen, because, you know, no one wants to be pushed by them. So it just figured I would share the statue with you, share a few quick thoughts. Loki's never said anything like he talks to Satan on a daily basis or become a Luciferian or anything like that. For my 2 cents, if you worship Lucifer or Satan or you're an atheist or whatever, you know, I don't care. I know a lot of us kids would have rather Satan came in and saved us. If you're raised Roman Catholic, I'm sure you hear me. We would have been happy to see his infernal majesty. The crappy treatment we were told that their God allowed and said was just, and the suffering and the agony we were put through, we'd have been happy to see Satan. So, like, when Loki showed up, yeah. So, yeah, and that's going to be another video someday about, like, how Loki was demonized locally and how long it took him to overcome that. And, yeah, maybe if you want to hear about that, say something below, because I keep meaning to make that video, because they did, like, an all-out push around here. Like, Loki and Satan are, like, two things that they're... two things. Two gentlemen that they're terrified of around here. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a big secret Loki cult and a big secret Satan cult around here or something. But, yeah. I thought I would show you guys how the statue came out. And I figured I better say words. Glorious words. While I was showing you. And, I just did the black and the red because, the black is what I wanted the statue to come out. And he was like, said, might as well make the whole statue black, and it does look more majestic. And it's actually a very small statue. It's like only like Oh, it's outside. Actually, I went to look and it's outside. It's only, you can tell by the fact that I could put a gemstone on it. It's only like a couple inches high, but I think it'll look very nice. Once it's done and it sets, I think it's going to look very nice. And it's just going to be wherever I can tuck it in somewhere. And I might have to actually Loctite that gem on. It was just on there for position to see if it would look good, but I really like the red against the black. Okay, guys, so I hope you don't mind the cursing, but I don't know. There's something about Lucifer. I guess it's the expression of freedom. I tend to blah 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 more when I'm in a mood and I'm like I don't work with him or anything, but if I'm like thinking back, that was like I think like um thinking about him and thinking about him rebelling, and I think it's the only thing that got me through being raised Catholic. I never experienced Satan as a being. I never experienced Lucifer as a being, but I think thinking of his rebellion was the only thing that helped me survive. Okay, so yeah, failed Catholic right there when that's a guy that's your favorite out of the whole Bible. Okay, guys. So if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. And again, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone's religion. I don't care if you're Christian, if you're Satan, if you're atheist, if you're Muslim, whatever. I don't care about your religion. But I just figured I would share the statue with you. And I will see you guys next time, and blessed be.